Hi guys, my name's Doug. Welcome to my messy garage. In this week's video, we're going to be continuing on with the sandblasting cabinet project. As I promised in the previous video, I've got it torn back down again, and you'll notice the bars are gone that used to support the grill. And in today's video, we are going to be making a new set of bars that sit down 3-4 inches inside the hopper. It's going to shrink the footprint a little bit of what we can put in there on the bottom. However, it is going to give more height. So follow along and I'll show you how I do it. So while I've still got the bin kind of sitting on the legs here, held together, kind of, sort of, I'm going to measure down from the corners. I figure 4 inches is probably good on the diagonal. That's not going to give us a true 4 inches in height, but good enough for now. So we'll come down off the edge and I'll mark it with the Sharpie. Doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing's actually getting attached to this. I just want to have it for a data point that we can use to design the remainder of the parts. So there we are. Now let's flip this up on the bench so that it's a little easier to work on than looking down a hole. Okay, so we've got the bin up on the bench here. What I have is some 1.5 by, I guess, 1/8 inch angle iron and some 1 inch by 1/8 inch angle iron. And the plan is the heavier stuff is going to run across the front and the back, and the lighter stuff is going to come through 3 or 4, haven't decided yet, bars. And the trick here is that we need to make it so that any sand hitting these bars runs down into the bottom of the hopper. So I'll take a measurement across here, just approximate. The length here isn't so critical. The bars don't have to come right out to the end. The distance between this surface and this surface is far more critical. I'm going to say probably 22 inches is just about perfect for the front and the back. Let me get those cut off and I will bring you back and we'll start figuring out how long our bars need to be. Okay, so we lay this in here. I'm going to say that we want to have the top edge lined up with our marks. The crossbars are going to come out. This isn't a crossbar, of course, but we want the tip of the crossbar to line up with the edge of the cross piece. So let me get this taped in here so that it'll stay. And the tricky part will be taping the one end to the top, and then we'll take some measurements across. Well, I got to be honest, I didn't think masking tape was going to hold that up in place, but it's working, so good enough. So now what we need to do is get our measurements point to point, and it looks to me like 16 3/4 inches will do there. It'll do there too. Good enough. Now I'm going to need to cut the 1 inch down to size so that it fits across here, 16 3/4 inches, so that it fits nicely between the two long runners. Here we are, we got the bars caught, and we probably could just weld them in place sitting up on the top there. But if we notch them so that the wire mesh frame also sits on these crossbars or the long pieces, I think we'll have a more stable surface to put things on. So now we need to figure out the angle to notch them at. A good way to do that is just to lay something in here parallel to the angle we want to cut, and we mark it. Bring this over here. I don't know how well this will show up on the camera. And we continue it out to the end. It doesn't quite come to a point, but if we move parallel another 1/8 of an inch, that gives us our angle to the point. Basically, all we're doing is establishing a line that is parallel to this angle. Once we have that parallel line, then we can line it up where we need it. Okay, that's the bottom end's marked. Okay, there we are. All 3 of them are marked. Now we need to get the marks so they come off the point and are parallel to the existing line, and then we need to cut them off. I'll bring you back when I get ready to cut, show you how that works. Thinking about firing up the plasma cutter to nip these off, and they would probably do a pretty good job of it. But I got this little bandsaw thingy here, and if I hold it just right, I don't know how that's showing up on the screen. There we go. Now, of course, you guys can't see it because it's up over the top of the lip, but it actually looks like it fits pretty well. Let me buzz these other two cross pieces off, and I'll bring you back when that's done. So here we are. Got them all cut off. The tapes come loose and the bar's gone down a little bit, so they're not fitting quite the way they were when I measured them. But when I put this piece back up where it belongs, these should fit all right, and we'll get them tacked in. Next step is to do a little bit of welding. So here we are. We basically got everything ready to weld up. Dug up some duct tape to hold the long bars in place, and I've got the crossbars sitting on top of them. The angle's not perfect. Close enough. I'm happy with this. Anyways, I'll throw a couple of tack welds on this thing, and I'll bring you back when that's done. Well, there we go. Got it welded up. I'm not going to claim to be a professional welder. Those welds aren't necessarily the prettiest ones in the world, but this will work. Let me set this back in the hopper and you'll see how it fits. So there we are. We've got it set down in the hopper. Now we need to modify the grill so that it actually fits down into the onto the new bars. Okay, so what we've got here, we've got the mesh sitting in kind of sort of where it originally sat. It fits just in the mouth of the hopper, and we want it to sit down on those new bars that we just made. So what we're going to do is come along here and cut off the mesh at the appropriate distance along the side and across the front. We're going to pry open this edging and then reattach it to the new edge. And likewise the side will move in and attach to the new side. And in theory, this mesh should then fit down perfectly inside, giving us about 3 more inches of height. Okay, so I measured the bin, and we're showing 16 3/4 deep, which, if memory serves me correctly, is about where we cut off the angle iron that we welded in there. And we come over here, 16 3/4. Now the width is 26 1/4. I think we're going to buzz this one off just on the inside of this bar. Lines up pretty good. And I'm going to put a straight edge across this one because the distance between the bar and the mark is far enough that it will be a pain to follow. Now I need a straight edge. Okay, I don't care about distance so much. We just want the relatively straight edge. Line it up with the marks. And that one will be just fine. Now I'll fire up the angle grinder and nip those off. We've got the piece cut off approximately the right length, and the piece cut off approximately the right length. So now what I need to do is take a pry bar and pry this lip open and extract it from the old original edge. Okay, there we go. First piece. We'll get that fixed up in a minute. See how it fits. It's perfect as far as I'm concerned. Now we need to take a hammer and clean up these edges a little bit. And then I think we're going to throw some spot welds on the corners like there originally was. Let me bring you back when I got this all banged back together and a couple of spot welds on it. Okay, there we are. We've got it all welded in. Just tack weld the corners, just hold it together. I squashed all of those U-channels down in the vise, and that seated them well against the wire. I think that looks pretty fantastic. I'm quite happy with how that little mod turned out. I'm going to squirt some paint on the rusty metal you can see underneath. I don't know how long it's going to stay there, given that we're going to be spraying abrasive at it quite regularly, but at least it'll make it look a little better at first. And then we start putting the cabinet back together. So I think we're going to call this one here. This mod is basically done. The next part, I'm going to be putting the cabinet back together again, this time actually using sealant. And you've already seen that. If you haven't, check out the video. I'll throw a card up at the top there. Back to part 1 of this series. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, ring that little bell icon so you see when I put new videos out. And we'll see you in the next one. So there we go, all painted up. Let that dry overnight and we'll start putting the cabinet back together. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment. For more great content from Doug's Messy Garage, click on one of the videos that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. Thanks for watching.